together for Nina Guiglotto.
My name is Nina Guiglotto. I moved here 5 years ago from New York and transitioned from saving people from foreclosure into the industry that I am in now. Tonight, I'm going to bring awareness to a subject that is on everyone's mind equally as much as it is kept out of everyone's thoughts. I work in the death industry. Yes, you heard that right. I work for a funeral home. I can already feel the uncomfortable energy in this room, but that's okay. I'm used to it. I can't tell you the countless times that I'm mingling at an event and I tell them what I do for a living. I get an awkward stare. I get, "Oh, really?" And the subject automatically changes. It's like sometimes people envision me hanging out in the morgue all day with the deceased. I have people think that we have bodies just hanging out in the hallways or in the kitchen. I'm sometimes asked where we store the bodies, and I literally believe that people think we keep them in the hallway closet. It's like people think death won't happen to them, so they just don't want to talk about it. Or maybe they've lost someone very close to them, so they can't relive that experience, so they just don't want to talk about it. Well, I'm here tonight to talk about it. I am going to squash the uncomfortable silence about this very topic and tell you why you need to talk about it. Not just with your loved ones, but with someone in the death industry. Death should not be a subject that you avoid. It should not be a secret kept from your loved ones. If you died tomorrow, who would be called as your next of kin? And what is their name? For the sake of this scenario, we're going to call him Tommy. However, you put their real name in your mind as you think while I speak. Now ask yourself, does your Tommy know how you want to be remembered? Will your Tommy know the answers to the questions that a funeral director will ask at the time of your services? A meeting with a funeral director and your Tommy will sound a little something like this. Tommy, I am sorry for your loss. I'm going to have to ask you several questions that are required for a death certificate, so please take your time and do the best that you can. Tommy, what is your mother's legal name, address, and social security number? Tommy, what is your mother's maiden name? Tommy thinks to himself, oh, I was out of town when Meemaw died. I can't remember Meemaw's name. He's just too busy crying because he missed her funeral. Next, Tommy, where was Meemaw born? Tommy has no idea, so the funeral director has to move on. Tommy, what is your mother's father's name, and where was he born? Now Tommy's thinking about Peepaw and how he used to take him fishing when he was younger. He remembers he wanted to be a fisherman just like Tommy. Tommy is struggling now with the rest of the questions, so the funeral director tries to move on to the next phase, deciding arrangements for you. However, since you never discussed your death with Tommy before, he has no idea what to do. Tommy says cremation is out of the picture. I want nothing but the best for my mother. And whatever it takes, I'm going to make it happen. Tommy moves on and picks an expensive casket. He picks a very honorable service with a visitation memorial mass and a full body burial. After making all of these decisions for 4 hours with the funeral director, he's just wiped out. He's had it. Next, the funeral director asks for payment in the amount of $25,000. And that payment must be due before services are rendered. Tommy is then asked to return tomorrow with an outfit for his mother, including undergarments, makeup or the lipstick she used to wear, 200 photos for a memory DVD. Oh, and don't forget that $25,000. Tommy has to borrow that money now from his cousin. Since last month, Tommy's hours were reduced at work, but he didn't tell his mother. Now, Tommy has to not only face the worst day of his life alone, he is now financially responsible for it. Why? Because you didn't want to talk about it. You didn't want to discuss your death with Tommy. Now ask yourself 2 questions. 1, Is your Tommy prepared if you died tomorrow emotionally? Yes or no? 2, is your Tommy prepared financially if you died tomorrow? Yes or no? If you answered no to either question, it is time to talk about your death with your Tommy. Talking is an act of caring, and it will help your Tommy focus on the memories of time he spent with you so he can smile and remember that, knowing he made the right decisions and not focus on the decisions that he has to make when your death occurs. Thank you.